Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about the Holy Grail, XRP, XDC, and XLM. So I'm going to be addressing the overall value behind all three of these, why I personally believe that everyone should be holding these three in your portfolio at least. And for everyone out there that has been asking me like how I look at a diversified portfolio, ultimately speaking, I think that you don't want to be over diversified, but you don't want to be under diversified. Under diversified would be anywhere between 3 or less investments, in my opinion. With crypto, initially starting off, if you don't have a lot of capital, I would argue like 5 to 10 is fine. And then after 20, it's kind of ridiculous. So anywhere between 5 to 10, initially speaking. Under 20 would be preferred. Even going after, like, I would argue like after 10, it's a little too hard to manage unless like you are full-time crypto. So me personally, I would be trying to hold 10 or less. 5 is the sweet spot in my opinion. Now, I've talked about a lot of these projects. For an example, I've talked about XDC, XRP, XLM, HBAR, Casper, and XRA, aka Alliance Block. I'm just going to call it Alliance Block. QNT as well. And so many other ones as well, like A0 and some other ones. But I said utility will always be the most important factor in the space. XDC is here to fully digitize and make liquid trade finance trillions. XRP and XLM is here to make money move and settle instantly globally, plus countless other use cases, trillions. HBAR Casper is here to disrupt usher enterprises into the future of Web3 by digitizing their workflows. There's a lot more to these two, but ultimately enterprises are the focus, trillions. And XRA is here to bridge the world of CeFi and DeFi, ultimately connecting both worlds of finance. This will lead to the convergence of a massive amount of funds, trillions. QNT is here to connect it all and create a utility-driven network of networks, global interoperability of Web 2 to Web 3 for seamless adoption of any DLT to fully encompass their true potential, endless value. There are many other incredible assets that I do hold that have strong utility that I can mention nonetheless. These are incredible opportunities in my mind that will be very, or I should say extremely valuable. For now, they are all under $100 billion market cap and most under 10 billion. Now, yes, as we do look at this, I know that you guys are probably thinking, come on, Nick, we've been hearing about trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions forever. And it's okay. I get that. I understand it. Actually, I'm right on your side. I know how frustrating it can be to be waiting, but I want you all to understand as well, though, that waiting is a part of the wealth process. You do not get wealthy overnight. You do not get wealthy fast, and it is not easy to get wealthy. Make sure that you remind yourself of that because, a lot of people think that, they're going to wake up one day and they're going to be like, oh, well, I put money in on Monday and it's now Friday and hey, I'm wealthy. No, that's not how it works. Like literally, this is investing. Investing is a time consuming thing. But the best part about it is that if you are investing money, you are already ahead of most individuals out there. Also, investing is crucial for your future. And when you look at utility gems within crypto, you got to remember that crypto is a small piece of the entire global infrastructure. Crypto right now is a drop of water in a massive bucket. And I'm telling you right now, there is going to be trillions that pour into this market. And slowly but surely, it is already kind of happening. Now, also, I did say, not everyone will win in this game. You hear the statement, trillions are coming when talking about XRP, XDC, XLM, etc. The truth is that trillions are coming, but not as quick as some may think. Many will lose simply because of time, and patience is the largest shakeout method for retail. Many aren't willing to put in the time to achieve the results. It's simple. Health and fitness, most quit before seeing results. Building a company, most quit before putting in the time and effort. Investments, most sell before making a return because it didn't happen fast enough. You get the picture. Retail is tied to psychological time constraints. It's the #1 reason why we have meme coins and why they become so popular, because things happen fast. The truth is, it's endless game of you versus time. And the facts are time always wins. At the end of the day, we don't have enough time. So don't fumble your opportunities by being impatient. And yes, as we do look at this market, cross-border payments, for example, around Ripple, utilizing XRP. A lot of people confuse this, right? A lot of people don't understand the actual use case behind XRP. If you've been around the space for a while, then you already know how XRP essentially works within the cross-border payment scheme. XRP is a bridge currency. It bridges any two specific currencies or anything of value. Crucial there, because as we do see tokenization, anything of value could be settled by XRP. XRP is at the forefront of this solution. I do believe that XRP is crucial to a lot of this, especially around a lot of Ripple functions. It doesn't mean that Ripple dictates the price of XRP or the value of XRP. The XRP ledger is actually very valuable by itself without Ripple even tied to it. But when you tie in what Ripple's doing with it as well, then you have a big boom event around a network of networks, meaning the network effects of XRP ultimately connecting to payment networks out there. That's huge. It's a very, very large effect on the price and the value of XRP. And I think that this is going to be very, very exciting. I also think that this is going to be one of those investments that, years and years into the future, we will look back on and say, wow, I can't believe there are so many people talking down on XRP at crucial times when you should be accumulating XRP. And those that are visionaries, those that can actually see the vision here, those are going to be the ones that get extremely wealthy off of XRP. And even when you look at the future of, payments, like over here, this was a post from June 8th of 2022, the future of cross-border payments with Brendan Barry, Ripple. And check this out. So, one thing that I did find interesting about this whole ordeal in terms of this conversation was this one. This is not a new issue for businesses and even consumers. Why has it taken so long for innovation? Because a lot of people are probably wondering, well, why hasn't this been solved already if it could be solved? Well, it's very simple, right? There has been innovation in both domestic and cross-border payments, but much of it has been on the front end rather than tackling the root problems, aka the back end of things. Through improvements to the front end, companies have dramatically improved the ease at which users can make payments, and in turn have hidden some issues from end users. However, most of the front end solutions don't actually solve the core problems in payments, but rather transfer the pain associated with interacting with the problems from one party or one stage of the payments workflow to another. And they do bring up Venmo and Cash App and things like that. There's a lot of problems here, right? There's a lot of issues around this, and what Ripple is actually focused on is ultimately the back end thing, right? The back end sort of infrastructure behind these real-time payment systems and the real-time gross payment systems as well, utilizing XRP, which they do even say down here, as a bridge currency between two currencies, enabling both the movement of funds between parties and currencies, alleviates a lot of those big problems. In fact, we even do see down here, the traditional manner of preemptively parking funds, which can be incredibly expensive. It is estimated $10 trillion market, but through using a digital currency, one can settle these transactions instantaneously in real time and also unlock those $10 trillion worth of funds. Imagine that, right? There's so much here, and the big issue that I see around, the price of XRP and the overall idea of XRP is a lot of people don't see this. A lot of people look at it and they're like, oh yeah, we've been hearing about it forever. And that's the best thing, right? That's the best thing about all of this, is that the time constraint. I said it, right? It's all psychological. People will shake themselves out of their bags because of time, because it didn't happen fast enough. Do not be one of those people. When we look at what's happening around Ripple, especially gaining a lot of market dominance, and also, by the way, with Ripple expanding rapidly, I do believe that XRP is going to be vital for their entire infrastructure. And I also think that XRP is going to be vital for the global financial infrastructure as well, or at least a big portion of it. And I think that XRP is going to be gaining a ton of value over time. And I think that's one of those investments that I just feel confident holding long term. Now, also, P2P cross-border payments, XLM. Again, a lot of people look at these two and they're like, well, they're both competitors, right? Why would I hold XRP? Why would I hold XLM if I hold the other one? Vice versa, right? These are complementary. XRP and XLM are very complementary to each other. When we go over here, innovation in the P2P cross-border payments industry is fueling financial inclusion worldwide. When we go back to this is more so for institutions. This is more so, for SMEs and institutions and things like that. As we look at the P2P market, this is more so for individuals, you and me. I would argue that Stellar is more so centered on Ripple's original view of banking the unbanked. And in fact, when we look at P2P, I think that XLM is actually doing, or I should say Stellar is actually doing a very incredible job at this. I think that with MoneyGram, that's a huge one because MoneyGram serves more than 150 million people worldwide. So that's huge. And they are also very fast in terms of their growth. So, I do think that this is going to continue to expand rapidly. And also, by the way, as more and more areas around the world modernize their systems, this is going to be a crucial solution for them. I know that's not as exciting as Ripple because when we look at the value here, like here's B2B, this is what Ripple is focused on, business to business. The other ones here, it's still not that bad, right? Like, this is business to consumer or consumer to business or consumer to consumer. This to me is where, Stellar is more so centered on. And I know that it's not as exciting, but it's still around roughly $5 to $6 trillion. That's still enough. That is still enough. And again, I don't think that XRP is going to grasp the whole $150 trillion here. It's going to be a very collaborative manner. And I do think that XLM could also play a role in also countering this as well. So again, these two could definitely be the big ones around this. And they're also the only two that I see really having a dominant force within the cross-border payment market. I know that Hedera is making some leeway around payments as well. I don't know about Casper too much around payments. I haven't really heard much about it, but I do know Hedera is becoming a big leader within that space as well. Now, also, cross-border payments, we have over here, January 2023, exploring multilateral platforms for cross-border payments, BIS. This is with the IMF and the World Bank Group. This actually talks about, distributed ledger technology and crypto around CBDCs, digital assets, tokenization, things like that. Again, we're already kind of seeing this becoming a reality. We're kind of seeing things moving pretty quick here. Obviously, there's still obstacles around this. Like, for example, regulatory issues are a big concern. Linking these systems, interoperability, all of this is a big deal. But also, when you look at this and you go back to like Quant, for an example, Quant could easily tie these two together. But what's crazy is that like IMF and the World Bank are the ones reporting on this. The IMF has been very bullish on crypto for so long. Here's February 23, 2023. Technology behind crypto can also improve payments, providing a public good. A new kind of multilateral platform could improve cross-border payments, leveraging technological innovations for public policy objectives. Crypto assets have been more of a disappointment than a revolution for many users, and global bodies like the IMF and the Financial Stability Board urge tighter regulation. We do see some of the rapidly evolving technology behind crypto, however, may ultimately hold greater promise. And this is the utility ones. The utility ones are the big key here. The private sector keeps innovating and customizing financial services. Again, around technology, like, we are seeing tokenization becoming a big deal, encryption, programmability, like all of these three areas here are the big ones. And, tokenization, in my opinion, is going to be the big area of focus that gets a lot of value first, because what we will see is initially the tokenization of stocks, bonds, and so many other assets, including real estate, which also Ripple just made a big step into. So I think that this is also very exciting. And then you also have CBDCs, and all of this ties back to cross-border payments. And again, we know that the IMF is well aware of what Ripple is doing with cross-border payments and even CBDCs. But also we do see over here real quick, going back to 2021, remarks by managing director at the IMF on enhancing digital and global infrastructures and cross-border payments. This was also talking about, crypto, digital assets, CBDCs, things like that. They have to fix the pipes first initially. And this could also fix all the major hurdles at once in terms of cross-border payments. Like once you fix cross-border payments, you fix pretty much almost everything. That's the weakest link out of everything. So to me, like cross-border payments is going to be the focus initially on, which is very exciting for those that are holding assets that are disrupting cross-border payments, because that's going to be, seeing the forefront of the value first. But also over here, we do see Ripple joins IMF to discuss CBDCs for cross-border payments. This happened just on May 13th, actually, of this month. So, or last month, sorry. So this is big, right? Like this is a huge deal. We know that the IMF is aware of Ripple, and also even the World Bank is aware of XLM and XRP actually, and Ripple. Here we have XLM, Stellar Illumin cryptocurrency, XRP, Ripple cryptocurrency. And when you scroll up, you can see them both being mentioned as ways of swapping, a way of like atomic swaps. So atomic settlement as well between two different currencies. You can actually see them being mentioned up here as around cross-border payments, as well as even stable coins. Like we do see both Ripple and Stellar enable faster and more efficient cross-border payments relative to correspondent banking. However, they differ in that the former aims to improving cross-border settlement between international banks, whereas the latter aims at providing low-cost cross-border payment financial services to end users and the unbanked population. Which, again, I guess that's actually like the best way to describe that, because that's pretty much how I would describe it. Except they described it way better than me. But they do mention both of these as stable coins, which I found very interesting. Like we actually see it. I seen it originally in this document. I'm sure that you guys are probably aware of it now, but I'm kind of blanking on it in this document. But maybe I just can't read it. But there's a lot tied to this, and I do think that they realize XRP and XLM's overall value. Now, last but not least, I know that I held XLM until the end, and that is not by choice, but it's just simply because I believe that XLM is one that is worth the wait. Very similar to what we have been waiting on with XLM or XDC to gain a lot of value. I don't know if I was saying XLM or XDC now because of the X's, right? But nonetheless, XDC is a very large project that I believe does not get enough recognition. I even said over on Twitter, I made a tweet recently where I was talking about, I said I'm stacking XDC until everyone realizes how big digitizing / tokenizing a $19 trillion industry is. A lot of people don't even understand how large XDC is, which is wild to me considering the fact that they are on the TFDI, and they were the first blockchain company to join the global TFDI alongside massive banks. I mean, we're talking about the Bank of Australia, SMBC, ING Bank, Santander, so many other ones. And this is about bridging a massive gap between the SME trade finance gap, aka worth $3 to $5 trillion. Like, I don't understand how people can't see the overall value here. And also remember, like, trade finance is a $19 trillion asset class that needs to be bridged, and they are utilizing XinFin's XDC for this under tokenization, as well as a liquidity provider. And also, like, a lot of the names tied to this are individuals that were working at Swift, like Andre Casterman, which in my opinion is the secret puzzle piece to all of this. And we're already kind of seeing MLATR being adopted in, which is that harmonized regulatory approach for trade finance digitization, and I cannot wait until that goes live. But also all the names tied back to this, like the Trade Finance Global, the ITFA, and even the TFDI, all of these are very large names, and they all talk about DLT around this. We even do see these specifications make use of e-signatures, cryptography, and DLT to create digital documents that effectively replicate many legally necessitated properties of paper. By applying these specifications to digital documents that replicate negotiable instruments such as bills of exchange or promissory notes, the ITFA has created a type of a digital negotiable instrument, DNI, that is referred to as an electronic payment undertaking, EPU. And what's crazy is that if you actually look up the DNI, guess what? XinFin is a tech provider for them. And also over here, we do see from the ITFA talking about the digital negotiable instruments. Very interesting. This is the ITFA. Guess who was the first blockchain company to join the ITFA? Here we have the discussions around it, talking about SME finance and the world trade have never been more exposed, which is why, as an association, we continue to foster improved market practices and regulatory developments. And this does talk about DLT. So the aim of the DNI initiative is to fully digitize bills of exchange and promissory notes. In order to achieve this, we identified the need to combine advanced document technology with electronic signatures and distributed ledger technology, whilst developing the appropriate contractual schemes and, where needed, lobby to change the law. Big deal, dude. Like, I don't think people realize how big of a deal this actually is. This is why I love stacking XDC. Like, I know where XDC is headed. A lot of people are sitting around being like, oh, well, I don't understand why XDC is even, like, being talked about. I don't even understand, like, the hype behind XDC. It's like, just do a little bit of research. You can understand why everyone's talking about XDC. Well, I shouldn't say everyone, but select individuals are talking about XDC. Those that are actually talking about XDC right now, like, I'm not even joking. Like, this is not to, boost my ego or anything. Like, anyone that actually understands XDC right now, which is all of you out there as well, you are going to be extremely wealthy, because XDC to me is going to gain a lot in value. In fact, it's actually right on par with XRP's first run up. I think that it could very well, pull a ton of X's in terms of ROI. And also remember the TFDI, right? Creating the blueprint for the global trade finance distribution. I mean, this is wild to me. Like the TFDI is the big key to it all as well. And all of this includes XinFin. Here's Andre Casterman, who is a part of the ITFA, the ICC. He was working at Swift for 20 plus years. I mean, come on. And you can see all the members. The ITFA is obviously one of their members. If you actually go over here to the membership, look at how wild this is. Look at all of these massive asset managers. Look at all the major banks tied to this. Look at the brokers, the insurers, the non-bank originators as well, the sponsors, technology providers. Oh yeah, that's right. XDC is a technology provider, and Trade Tech is also working with XDC. I mean, come on. Again, this is why I look at these three as the holy grail. These are the three major players. I know that there's other ones. Don't get me wrong. I'm very bullish on HBAR. I'm very bullish on Casper and Q&T. But I'm telling you right now, if you aren't watching these three, XDC, XRP, XLM, you need to do a little bit more research on these because utility is crucial. Utility is crucial. I'm telling you right now. Utility is crucial. And these three are going to play a very significant role in the evolution of our global financial system and our overall infrastructure. So that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. This is up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are on this before. That's been Nick. Peace out, guys.